opened. Ben Lewis, ITV News.
Next, 30 years ago, Paul Hardcastle released a single that became one of the unexpected hits of the 80s. Paul wrote 19 in response to the Vietnam War, highlighting the fact that 19 was the average age of American soldiers who were sent there. 3 decades on, and he's rewritten the track because of personal and general concerns about soldiers in conflict the world over. Before we meet him, let's hear the old track and the new version.
In Vietnam, he was 19. In Vietnam, he was 19. In Vietnam, he was 19. Post-traumatic stress disorder. The kid was only 19. The kid was only 19.
And Paul joins me now. Let's start with the personal then. And your son's best friend died as a soldier. He was fighting in Afghanistan.
Yeah, his name was George Sparks. Yeah, he died, and I think what happened with him, he sort of got sort of forgotten a bit really by people. That's what his family thought, and it was just such a shame that, you know, he was the same age as my son, and my son wasn't even born when I made that record, and then to have someone that's sort of close to my son die was quite a tragic thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for George Sparks' family it would have been
devastating,
hideous,
absolutely,
but for
totally
your boy
devastating
as well, to go through losing a friend, a best friend as a teenager.
Totally, but I think the fact is his family are the more, you know, obviously were the more important people, so, you know, but it's nice to keep his name alive, George. That's the good thing that we're doing here.
And in terms of, you know, the conflict in Vietnam, more recent conflicts with Afghanistan, you're very concerned, you know, this single that you've rewritten and re-releasing, you're doing that for the charity Combat Stress, because you're concerned.
No, it's actually called Talking to Minds, and basically what they do, they actually sort of look after people that have got PTSD. I mean, you know, the statistics on PTSD are quite frightening. I mean, in some circumstances, there's been more people that have actually taken their own lives than have been killed in combat, and that was the one thing in making this record that made me think, you know, this has to be sort of brought to the front, because not many people sort of know that statistic. It's quite a staggering one.
It is staggering. There is more talked about what happens when soldiers do return, and thankfully so many do, but the stress that they go through, but there's clearly not enough, is it, because of the charities like that existing and needing help? Yeah, I mean, they do a great job Talking to Minds, but you know, when you think about it, you know, if someone comes back and they've seen all these things and they've escaped, but it's also not only soldiers, you know, I mean, there's the police, there's people that work in ambulance services, you know, they see things that, you know, a normal person doesn't get to see, and it does sort of take them into a different sort of realm, really. So it's one of these things that we've tried to. I mean, we could have just left it alone, because it was a big hit. It's been all, you know, around the world, but we just thought, right, it's 30 years since it was first #1. What can we do with it this year? And so we decided to basically bring it back to help sort of other people. So everyone that buys the album is actually helping out people that have got this thing, because not many people understand it apart from certain factions of the medical profession, and Talking to Minds are one. OK, well, good luck with the new version of 19, Paul Hardcastle. Thank you very much for coming to talk to me. Thank you.